Thanks for stopping by Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I'm your host, Justin Lloyd, and today it's Kansas City style smoked spare ribs. Stick around. A friend of mine recently got back from Kansas City and raved about the barbecue there. He specifically liked the ribs and the burnt ends, so I figured let's make some ribs. Let's do it Kansas City style and see what we come up with. My buddy Paul brought us back some barbecue sauce from Char Bar. I'll put a link in the description box to their website. Also, go check out Angry Toothpick Beef Jerky. I'll put a link to their site below. You can order it online, and if you're a beef jerky fan, their stuff is great. So let's go ahead and get some ribs going. So here we have some pork spare ribs, untrimmed. So we're gonna trim it St. Louis style, not to be confused with Kansas City style barbecue. Anyway, that's another video. Go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. Pat it dry. All right, we got a lot of work to do. This thing is pretty gnarly. So let's trim this off. A little skirt right there, take that off. Make sure you have a really sharp knife. All right, so next we have this membrane. Let's take that off. Sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge. I like to use a butter knife, just kind of get right under that membrane. Once you lift it up, paper towel. Gives you a better grip. So basically a St. Louis cut is just a square rack. We're gonna square this thing up and get rid of all the extra stuff. This can serve as grind, or you can cook it on the pit and have a little pitmaster snack. So let's get rid of some of that fat. I like to find where that chine bone is and go right by that. Make sure your knife is good and sharp, and you'll be able to get right through that cartilage. See, those are rib tips, and they're delicious. See how these bones are curved? They kind of fan out. That's gonna make it difficult to trim, but we're gonna do our best here. I think we go right here. Leave that squared up like that. Throw that off to the side. So we'll come over to this front side, trim that off. Get rid of some of that fat. We're gonna go with Meat Mitch today. This is a Kansas City rub. It's won some awards, so let's check it out. And it smells wonderful. Give it a good pat, flip her over. Pat it in. Let's go get that Blaze Kamado fired up. All right, folks, you know the drill. There's always some leftover charcoal in the old Blaze Kamado because it's so efficient. Still have a wood chunk in there. I'm just gonna roll with that thing because I don't have any fresh wood chunks cut. You can use pecan, hickory, cherry, apple, whatever you like. I would avoid mesquite. That can be pretty intense for a rack of ribs. I'm out of my normal fire starters from Burn Fire Starter Company, so we're going with an inferior product here. Just a little tumbleweed. We'll let that sit, and once it's up to temp, we're gonna put on some ribs. So that fire is smelling good. Let's go ahead and get our place setter on. Then our grill grate. And now we'll continue to wait until that gets back up to temp. We're looking for 250 degrees. So we're at 250, let's get these ribs on. We're gonna let these go for just a couple hours, then we might come back with a spritz. See you in a bit. Okay guys, we are at the 2-hour mark, so let's go ahead and check on our ribs and see if they need a spritz. There we go, looking good, color's awesome. Got a little pullback on the bones. Got a little dryness on the edge right there, maybe a little bit, but we'll take care of that with the apple cider vinegar and water spritz. My trusty barbecue mix spritz. Again, apple cider vinegar and water, half and half. So we're just gonna let this go for another hour and then we'll come back and check them. These ribs have been on for 5 hours. I think it's time to go ahead and get them sauced. Let's see what we're looking like. Looking good, got some nice pullback on the bones. Went ahead and temped it. We are at 200 degrees internal, so let's sauce these babies up. We're gonna hit those ribs with some Meat Mitch char bar sauce. This is quintessential Kansas City barbecue sauce. Tomato based and sweet. We'll come in with our brush and kind of just paint that rib. All right, we'll come back in about 30 minutes. So here we are, 30 minutes later. This is a saucy rack of ribs. Let's see what we got. These smell incredible. Let's take a look at this guy right here. Oh man, that looks really good. Good smoke ring. Nice and juicy. Now that is a good looking rib. I say we take a bite. Okay, let's go in for the kill. That's pretty damn good. Perfect bite. It's not quite falling off the bone. This is almost a competition style kind of bite. So you get the tomato, you get the pepper from that sauce. You get the sugar and there's a little bit of vinegar in there. Yeah. It's funny, you know, I always have trouble deciding which style of rib I like best. Is it Memphis dry rub? Is it Texas, kind of just the salt and pepper thing? Is it Kansas City? I don't know. Right now, it's Kansas City. Hey, if you don't mind, go ahead and like, subscribe, and smash that bell. It's the best way to support our channel. We certainly appreciate it. We'll see you next time.